Hello and welcome back people to Let's Play Folklore. And this time around we're going to take care of the DLC that appeared at the even before the netherworld of this chapter has been revealed. Which is actually a second part to a quest that we got at the very beginning of the game. Lost Thoughts, Part 2.
Huh. Alright then.
Rescue Shefro from the ferry. I wanted to say something interesting about the first part of this side quest. You remember? I may have not shown this at all, but because well, I cut out a lot of attempts at me catching the Shelfo. But what's interesting? Shelfo will be registered as a scene folk the moment you have done that side quest. Even if you haven't seen her in the fairy realm.
Well, alright then.
It's actually pretty interesting that they did bother to put that in. A lot of people would just hand wave it, oh yeah, like, she wouldn't know because she didn't see it in that specific place. But no, it's like Alan already knows. And here is a recap.
Good, because I kind of forgot what we did in this quest.
Hmm. It was an interesting one, because we had to go through both the Fairy Realm and the Orcadia. And no, I wasn't wearing that outfit back then. Well, let's ignore the weird thing in the middle of the screen.
Instead, we gotta talk to people for war and shit.
Mm-hmm. It's unthinkable to do something against that asshole. Nobody else there, so let's just talk to whatever this is. Well, I never.
Like a butt bug flower hummingbird thing.
With a duck face.
What the hell is this thing?
There is a reason why this thing looks so weird.
Jesus.
You'll see why later. You may notice this thing talks in rhymes. Sometimes.
Better save.
Mm-hmm. Better restore my HP after what that would happen. He can organize himself.
Don't worry,
Okay,
nobody
okay.
knows how to get through the endless corridor except for Ellen. And Keith. And, you know, Levane.
Except in this particular scenario, there is no way other than the right way.
God damn it. Just had to make it convenient for our enemies, endless corridor. Jeez.
I don't think I was supposed to pick up that health pickup, but whatever. Kazam. You see what I mean about the 3 strikes and then the gavel?
Yeah, good shit.
Electricity book, yes. All of the electricity, yes. Electricity book is so good only because their AI is so awful.
Right.
They will just plow head straight into it if you stand between them and the book.
Was the book really necessary to break the crystal?
No.
Alright then.
Now, what I find kind of disturbing about this whole thing is how they do establish that the Shefro is a soul of a child, yet it has such well pronounced curves.
Yeah, it's weird that you know, it has a bud for a bottom. I agree. You know, but you know, I guess it's a kid, so it can't exactly bloom yet. Yeah.
Anyway.
But hey, at least this isn't an Artonalico game, and then things would just get weird.
Yeah. Or any other Gust game. I want to use my bug, damn it.
Yeah.
This is such a great attack.
Very handy.
Mm-hmm. And there are so few things that are actually resistant to it. It's so good. Ah, so much electricity. Much absorbed. Wow. And the way is cleared. And all of the other crystals have literally all of the health. They really expected you to suck.
Thankfully for us, though, we can throw lightning bolts everywhere.
Mm-hmm. It was totally worth going out of my way to get all of that and a bag of chips.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, thankfully the fairies aren't quite as dangerous as they are when you use them. It's a rarity.
I know, alright. That said, it just slapped the book, man.
Yeah, the bug gets slapped around, especially since it's not resistant to anything. It's very like situational where you can when you can actually use it properly. But since it doesn't cost quite as much MC, you can just you can just give it a go whenever. I'm just going to pick this up.
Don't mind me.
And see, Book did all of the work for me.
Yep. Thanks, Book.
Thanks, stupid AI.
We appreciate you. So much life.
And now it's gabbled, so I can't really use gabbled quite as effectively anymore. Which is why I have different things. Like troll.
When in doubt, use the troll.
Exactly. Though the full charge kinda leaves you open.
I mean, at least it hits hard.
Yeah. I mean, like, the problem is they will just run straight for you and just go past him. Thank you, invincibility frames.
Hey man, that's our thing. What the hell, using your own electric field thing. Fuck.
That's evil.
I know, right?
It's too bad you don't actually get like an electrical field like as a protective thing. That would have been great. This is kind of passing by. See? Me using puke the moment that the tornado was going to hit me actually took it off the air.
That said, you know, thinking about it, I'm actually pretty surprised that most of the shields in this game are actually pretty useful.
Yeah, exactly. You don't really like say in something like Devil May Cry. The defensive mode is always the one you use the least. Whereas here they actually, well, I mean, use it the least because it's so inconvenient. But here, because the combat's kind of slow, it does actually work. And also the fact that there are multiple ways of defending yourself. I am going to use it no matter what. It's like I am not I'm not forced to use a shield as a shield. I can just use whatever I feel like is in my roster. And Buck, you're a disappointment.
Nico.
Thankfully, I can just take it, just cancel its existence by overriding the button. And this is actually quite unfortunate because, well, Troll is actually weak to slash. Though they are still weak to being killed.
technically isn't everything weak being killed.
Bullets, especially effective against living beings. Thank you, invincibility frames.
Yeah, bullets are a real bitch to deal with. They make you weak to drowning.
Yeah, exactly. Especially when you're a child. Ah, damn invincibility Nazis. All of that invincibility, that's just not nice. It's supposed to be mine.
It's just inconvenient, really.
Oh, I do actually have to heal. Thankfully, they don't get stingy as you go along. It's like, have all of the health on the easiest enemies, and then have nothing when you actually need it.
And if you die, you have to start all the way over.
And all of your progress is erased. Thankfully, at least in this one, even if you die, all of the kills, all of the XP you get still count. And he just leaves. Now, this encounter can get pretty ugly. As you see, this gets to be quite the clusterfuck.
Yeah, I can tell.
4 invincibility Nazis. 3 warhogs, if I can tell. If I 2 or 3. It's hard to tell. And the gigantic golem that's invincible most of the times. So yeah, this gets to be a little bit tricky, but not impossible. Like, all of the enemies are thankfully really, really slow. I prioritize the
So clearly the correct stat. Go on, you first.
well, the thing is, it's really hard to pick an enemy here that is actually easy to kill, because all of them have their quirks to make them really difficult to deal with. I just went for the invincibility Nazis since they're already on the ground, and I can hit them at least most of the times. And they don't take quite as many hits.
Meanwhile, I was gonna say, fucking just why not just get in the middle of all of them and start smacking fools around, huh? Or a strategy for this room.
Yeah.
It's not like they'll gather around you and destroy you or anything. It'll be fine.
This was a bad idea. I always forget which button is the, like, cancel the minigame. There is one, but I always just mash everything, and eventually sometimes happens. Well, that was evil. It's not very nice. That was nifty. And now we just have the golem to deal with. So equip with the slash elemental and wait forever until he becomes vulnerable, and then just back slap you. He sometimes does two, sometimes does only one. It's hard to predict. It's hard to predict what's gonna happen.
Do we ever get his rock shield?
We do get him as a shield, yes. I used him on the
Not the good shield.
No, we don't get that one, but his he still gives you full protection around well, from all directions. It only takes way too much MC to actually use it too efficiently. So the shield bot still remains the best option, at least in my opinion. Well, that's a new thing.
Hello. Became a Chaos Emerald.
Mm-hmm.
That's, interesting.
Yeah, this is what happens when you go to the Netherworld as a living person. You turn into that atrocity. I said there was a reason why that thing looked so wrong, even by this game's standards.
That makes a lot of our quest rewards a lot weirder. Tales of Fairies, is that the new Tales game coming out?
Who knows? They probably already booked the name.
Probably. So yeah, never take that cloak off. Ever.
Mm-hmm. This is why both Ellen and Keith actually needed some sort of protection.
Yeah. Yeah. We're gonna feed it to one of our folks.
No, actually, this actually is what gives us the ability to use this folk, however useless it may be. Although, I only used it once on something that wasn't even weak to water, so I'm not exactly certain how useless it is. It may actually have a use. I'll just have to try it out. Putam.
Foot campus.
Put campus. This is why we make up our own names.
Yeah. Well, let's see what everyone's doing.